Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask, Heidi. It's Friday, the 9th day of June. It is National Movie Night. Ooh, we should watch a movie tonight.
I'm always good with that.
Friday night's a good night for a movie. World Antisporadicid Antibody Syndrome Day. I don't even know.
No clue what that is.
I don't even know how to say it, so I don't know what that is. But boy, if you got that, I'm sorry to hear you got that. How do you pronounce it? I don't even know how to say it. Coral Triangle Day today. National Earl Day today. I just watched a thing about the TV show My Name is Earl.
I remember that show.
Yeah,
I liked
there was
that
no
show.
season finale on that because they thought they were being renewed, and then after the season was done, they're like, yeah, we're not going to renew it after all. So they never got to do a season finale. So maybe that's why we celebrate National Earl Day. I don't know. National Strawberry Rhubarb Pie Day. Oh,
Yum.
Heidi makes a good one. And it's National Donald Duck Day today.
Aww.
You know his middde name, Heidi?
Fauntleroy.
She's so good. That is. Now, if you win a bunch of money on a trivia game because of that, keep Heidi in mind. I've got a guest joining me today, Brian Selznick. He is the author of several amazing books, and he's got his latest out now. It's called Big Tree. We're going to chat all about it coming up.
What a year. With prices on everything going up, it's more important than ever to have a better credit card. Some people use a credit card that's not a very good one. At bettercreditcards.com, we offer a variety of credit card options to fit your needs. Whether you want a card to give you cash back or points and perks, or a credit card to help you build your credit, we probably have it at bettercreditcards.com. Give yourself a little credit. Bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by bettercreditcards.com. New study found that eating a junk food diet filled with sugar, saturated fat, and processed food results in poor sleep quality.
You think so?
Really? When study participants switched to a healthier diet, their sleep quality improved. Jonathan Senerdis, study and co-author of the study, an associate professor at a place in Sweden, said both poor diet and poor sleep increase the risk of several public health conditions. Sleep problems have been linked to an increased risk in high blood pressure. I've got that. Diabetes. Well, I don't officially have that, but who knows? Obesity. I've got that. Depression. Yeah, you know. Heart attack. I hope not. And stroke. I really hope not. So I got to be careful because I'm doing all the things that you need to do to have all of those.
We've improved our diet quite a bit, actually.
We have, but are we going to stick to it?
Well, so far, so good.
I sure hope so. All right. Surveys and studies and such brought to you by bettercreditcards.com.
Did you know you can allocate a percentage of your IRA to physical gold and silver with a tax-free rollover? You can put your IRA back on the gold standard. Genesis Gold IRA is the only IRA that can hold physical precious metals. Call now for your free gold and silver report and learn how to qualify for up to $10,000 in free silver. GenesisGoldIRA.com would like to help protect your IRA today with a simple phone call. Learn more and get the phone number at GenesisGoldIRA.com. That's GenesisGoldIRA.com.
Did you know? Brought to you by GenesisGoldIRA.com. Heidi, did you know it's best not to try using ChatGPT to do your homework? A student was allegedly busted for using the AI technology for schoolwork. Roshan Patel tweeted about the incident along with a photo of the assignment, writing, "My little cousin got caught using ChatGPT on his 7th grade English homework." In the photo, the student's supposed work, the line, "As an AI language model, I don't have personal expectations or opinions," appeared in the homework. And it was highlighted in yellow. So he didn't even read what he printed out
He
and
just
handed
printed
in.
it and handed it in.
Yeah.
I was
He
going to say, how would
copied.
you get caught? Because I thought it was all original works.
He got caught because he was a
he
bit
didn't
of a
take the
knucklehead. He copied what the chatbot said, word for word. And the word poignant was also highlighted, a word that is probably not even in a preteen's vocabulary.
Right, exactly.
The viral tweet has since racked up more than 1.2 million views and almost 5,000 likes. So now if I want to go viral on the internet, I just got to find some dummy to do something dumb and take a photo of their dumbness.
They just shouldn't be using that
don't
stuff,
do that.
period.
Don't do any of that stuff. We don't know everything, but now we know this.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by InsuranceChicken.com. Benedict Cumberbatch and his family were left fearing for their lives when a man wielding a knife began destroying property and shouting at the actor. Yikes. Report says 35-year-old chef at a luxury hotel kicked his way to the front of the gate, through the front of the gate at Cumberbatch's home,
Yikes.
shouting, "I know you've moved here. I hope it burns down."
Whoa.
And he and his kids could hear this going on outside. So I don't know exactly what's going on there.
I don't either.
But now they do have a restraining order filed.
Jeez.
Jean Cleese. I love John Cleese.
Love John Cleese.
He says a scene in the movie Life of Brian will not be cut. They do a stage show, and this 1979 film
Good.
has a thing where there's a guy that says,
One of my favorite scenes, by the way.
I want to be Loretta. And they're like, well, now you can't do that. And they're like, well,
He's like,
we
can.
So,
yeah, if
and
you don't want to watch it, don't come.
Ryan Gosling is firing back at criticism, suggesting that he's too old to play Ken in the upcoming Barbie movie. So, okay. Wow, we're just running out of things to complain about. So that's the next thing on the list.
That's what everybody's concerned about.
Big screen,
apparently.
little screen, brought to you by InsuranceChicken.com.
How much do you pay for your cell phone every month? If it's more than $15, it's time for a Mintervention. Mint Mobile makes it affordable and easy to switch. Get a new phone or bring in your current phone. iPhones and Samsung phones both work well with Mint Mobile. At Mintervention.com, you can see the current special offers from Mint Mobile, offering premium wireless for just $15 a month. That's far less than most people are paying, just $15 a month. Learn more now at Mintervention.com. That's Mintervention.com.
Now your scoop of the day comes your way, courtesy of BetterCreditCards.com. Research shows that we regularly forget daily tasks that we fully intend to complete. That's the end of the research. They forgot to finish the rest of it. I'm sure they meant to come back and do the rest of that.
They meant to finish it, but...
Yeah. Do you ever do that? You have something that you're going, I'm going to do that, and then you don't do it?
Yes.
How long
we've got
would
a
you
patio right now
Yeah.
that
How long would you say is the longest you put something off that you meant to do? Like every day it was something you're going to do.
Oh, gosh, I wouldn't even know.
Would you
Not
say-
a long time. I mean, not years or anything.
For me,
no.
it was years. I've had projects that I was going to do for years. And then when I finally sat down and did the project.
Takes just a couple of minutes.
The one, it took me a half hour.
Our closet is
I
what
remember.
I'm thinking
Yeah, we had
of.
stuff sitting on our table for a month for me to put up some shelves in the closet. And for a month, I walked past those. And finally, the other day, I was like, I'm just going to do this today.
Same thing with the closet at the last house, but that was years. That was 3 years.
Yeah, it's... these things, I just put them off. Anyway, I guess I'm not the only one. And by now, we're familiar with the new job trend, bare minimum Mondays. You might have heard of that. Workers do exactly that on the first day of the week, bare minimum. The trend promotes a gentle start to the work week by easing the usual pressures and expectations that arise after the weekend. Now, an Australian boss is making sure their employees fall in line. Marketing manager Caitlin Winter says it's been one of the best decisions she's ever made as a boss. She started using bare minimum Mondays as a way for the staff to take the day at their own pace, to treat themselves with extra space and kindness, thus setting themselves up for a productive week. In spite of the stereotype, she says it doesn't mean that they sit in their PJs all day in front of their telly. In reality, the simple day is something where, what is it? It's simply a day where we work from home, we don't schedule meetings, and we generally just treat ourselves with a little more space and kindness. She noticed her team's productivity, by the way, has been up, and the happiness level is up. So there we go. If you'd like to read that story without me messing it up, it's in the show notes
baffled.
for today at johnandheidishow.com.
InsuranceChicken.com wants to know, how much are you paying for your insurance? I know it seems like a hassle to switch to a different company, but if you can save a few bucks, it's worth crossing the road to InsuranceChicken.com. We have several of the top insurance companies trying to earn your business. They do that by offering great insurance that is cheap. Okay, enough of the silly chicken puns. It's time to get serious about saving you money on your insurance at InsuranceChicken.com. That's InsuranceChicken.com.
Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show. Our guest today, best-selling author Brian Selznick. His latest book is out right now. It's called Big Tree. I say it's your latest, but it's certainly not your first. You've got over 35 books out, and this one looks amazing.
This is like the fourth book that I've made that's like this giant, like almost 600-page written and illustrated novel.
Big Tree is a really bigger-than-life life, beautiful book, and it's an adventure to even just flip through it.
Oh, good. Yeah, I wanted to tell this story about these two little seeds, trying to find a safe place to grow and save the world at the same time with words and pictures. So it felt somewhat cinematic. Like there's long sequences where you just go page by page with these big drawings where I immerse you in the forest and in the world of the story.
And this book is wonderfully illustrated. Did you do the illustrations as well?
I did. I drew them. I love drawing. I wrote the story first, then I figured out how I was going to illustrate it afterwards, but I really love being able to not only write the narrative, but to be able to draw it so that you can really, in so many ways, see the story in a different way, right? So you're reading both words and pictures.
Again, the title of the book is Big Tree, and you're getting some big praise from some big names. I'm seeing names in here like Meryl Streep and Steven Spielberg. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it was really incredible. It was actually Steven Spielberg's idea. I started working on this book like 6 years ago. Steven Spielberg called me. He wanted me to write an animated movie for him about nature from nature's point of view. But then when the pandemic hit, it became clear the movie wasn't going to happen. So I asked Mr. Spielberg if I could make that story that I had made up for the screenplay into a book. And then when it was time to make an audiobook, the one person I wanted to have read the book was Meryl Streep. I'd always imagined her as the voice of the Earth because the Earth is one of the characters in the story. And she read the book, and to my great delight, she said yes. So you can read the book with all my pictures, or you can listen to the audiobook with her incredible voices. She reads 25 different characters, and it's really, really amazing.
Or, Brian, you could do both. You could read it while listening to it.
I highly recommend that. I think that would be really, really fun. And of course, like the book has all of these pictures that we're talking about, so I had to write new text for the audiobook so that the people who were just listening would be able to, follow the story. But it's sort of like an adaptation, like it's not just the book, it's an adaptation of the book. But because, the story takes place at the end of the Cretaceous era, it's very much about, feeling tiny and trying to figure out what we can do when we feel helpless and how we can help, which is so I think all of us feel that way in some fashion right now. And so, trying to get that across with words, with pictures, and then with Meryl Streep reading. And of course, we have incredible music on the audio and we have sound effects. So it's all these exciting different ways to get the story.
And I like that you mentioned feeling tiny in a big world, because one of the main characters is a seed. I don't think I've ever seen a book where the main character is a seed. What a unique perspective.
Yeah, I discovered that sycamore trees are what's called fossil species, which have been around since before the time of the dinosaurs. And I wanted there to be a connection with the nature today. And but at the end of the dinosaur era, the meteorite comes to destroy most life on the planet, and that existential threat felt like a good metaphor for what was happening today with our climate. And so by making the seed, the main characters little tiny seeds, it just felt like the perfect metaphor for what we feel like, right? These little tiny helpless creatures that are kind of like caught in the wind, being blown around. But I wanted everything in the story to be based in science. So the seeds don't have faces, they don't have arms and legs, but the sycamore seeds do have fluff. And so, there's some gentle anthropomorphization where the fluff, sometimes acts a little bit like arms and legs, but even that's based in science because the fluff helps them move. So seeing all of those connections between what was happening at that moment in time and the existential threat we were facing and what's happening right now felt very powerful to me. And and so much of the time when I'm writing, I'm trying to help figure out how to make myself feel a little bit better about the world and what we can do, and just remember that we can do things.
We can do things, and if they'd like to find the book Big Tree, where can we find it?
Any place that books are sold, your local independent bookstore, online. The audiobook is available on Audible and a few other places, I believe. So I hope that people find it and enjoy it.
I think Big Tree will be a big success. Brian, thanks for your time.
Oh, thank you so much. It's really great to talk to you.
Our guest has been Brian Selznick. The book is called Big Tree. I've got a link to it in the show notes for today at thejohnandheidishow.com.
What a year. With prices on everything going up, it's more important than ever to have a better credit card. Some people use a credit card that's not a very good one. At bettercreditcards.com, we offer a variety of credit card options to fit your needs. Whether you want a card to give you cash back or points and perks, or a credit card to help you build your credit, we probably have it at bettercreditcards.com. Give yourself a little credit. Bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Only a quarter of the Sahara Desert is sandy. The rest
What's
of it.
the rest?
Well, the rest of it's not really a desert. It's not a sandy desert. It's just like rocky or something. I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe it's a wind. I have no idea.
Thanks for that information, John.
I've never been there. Only a quarter of it is sandy. Three-quarters of it is not sandy.
Huh.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Turkeys can blush. Wow.
Really?
That's cool. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Cats make about 100 different sounds, but dogs make about 10 different sounds. It's not about quantity. It's about quality. I don't know what that even means. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Frozen vegetables can have more nutritional value than week-old, quote-unquote, fresh vegetables.
I have read that before.
Yeah,
because
here's
they
why.
are frozen.
Flash frozen.
Yep, at the peak of freshness.
Yeah, they get them fresh, they flash freeze them, and then they deliver them to
so
you.
all the nutrients are still in there.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. Several fun facts. Now you know. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Did you know you can allocate a percentage of your IRA to physical gold and silver with a tax-free rollover? You can put your IRA back on the gold standard. Genesis Gold IRA is the only IRA that can hold physical precious metals. Call now for your free gold and silver report and learn how to qualify for up to $10,000 in free silver. GenesisGoldIRA.com would like to help protect your IRA today with a simple phone call. Learn more and get the phone number at GenesisGoldIRA.com. That's GenesisGoldIRA.com.
Now, the Mint Mobile question of the day comes your way, courtesy of Mintervention.com. Question, Heidi. The average family throws away 70 of these perfectly edible items every year. What are they? I don't. First thing I take out of there.
I don't know.
The loaf of bread, heel or crust.
Oh.
And, yeah, I don't know why you would throw that away. It's my favorite part.
I just threw one away the other day.
Did you really?
I did. It
Heidi?
had been in the fridge for how long and nobody touched it, so I threw it away.
Mint Mobile question of the day comes.
Are you all right?
Yeah, I need a minute. Comes your way, courtesy of Mintervention.com.
How much do you pay for your cell phone every month? If it's more than $15, it's time for a Mintervention. Mint Mobile makes it affordable and easy to switch. Get a new phone or bring in your current phone. iPhones and Samsung phones both work well with Mint Mobile. At Mintervention.com, you can see the current special offers from Mint Mobile, offering premium wireless for just $15 a month. That's far less than most people are paying, just $15 a month. Learn more now at Mintervention.com. That's Mintervention.com.
Now, some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. Kevin Magnus is McLovinit. 56-year-old Nashville man went on an all McDonald's diet for 100 days. And guess what happened to his weight?
Lost weight.
Yeah, how much do you think he lost in 100 days?
I have no idea.
58.5 pounds.
Whoa.
Yeah. Started at 238 pounds, losing 30 pounds in 30 days by eating half portions for each meal. Quote, I've eaten everything from Big Macs to quarter pounders with fries. Don't get bitter while I'm eating my apple fritter and losing weight. Magnus did not exercise while he was on his diet program, and he avoided snacking. He also replaced soda with water and didn't eat any fruit or veggies aside from those that were in the burgers and apple fritters and blueberry McMuffins. After eating only McDonald's for 100 days, he said he feels amazing. So
it's all about calories.
Yeah, calories.
Calorie intake.
And what you're doing. So even though he wasn't exercising, I bet he wasn't just like sitting around doing
Yeah,
nothing.
I'm sure he wasn't just laying around
But
watching
that's
TV.
pretty cool. I'm happy for you, dude. If that's your thing, you go ahead and do that thing.
And if you also think about that's all you ate that whole time, you know how quickly you'd get sick of it, and then
yeah.
you wouldn't be eating as much,
ugh.
period, just because I don't even want it.
Exactly. Weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
John and Heidi.
Time now for the list brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. Okay, I don't want anybody getting mad at me about this because this is not my list, but I have for you the 10 classic albums turning 50 this year. These are the ones that people say are the best because there's a bunch of things that came out 50 years ago. So alphabetically, it starts with Aerosmith. They have the album Aerosmith with Dream On and Mama Kin, somebody. David Bowie had an album come out. Aladdin Sane had several different things on it. Eagles' Desperado came out 50 years ago, 1973. Billy Joel, Piano Man, has Piano Man and Captain Jack. Elton John, Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, Candle in the Wind, the original one, Benny and the Jets. That came out 50 years ago. Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon, 50 years ago. It's got Money, Time, a lot of stuff. Queen, Keep Yourself Alive, Liar, 7 Seats of Rye. That all came out in 1973, 50 years ago. Bruce Springsteen, Greetings from Asbury Park, Blinded by the Light, and others. The Who, Quadrophenia, Love, Reina or Me, The Real Me, several others. And Wings, Band on the Run, came out 50 years ago. Does it seem like 50 years ago for all those? Any of those seem like they don't feel like 50 years old to you, Heidi?
Oh, no. I don't know.
Thank you for that input.
They're all older than me, so of course they seem 50 years old.
Seems like they've been around forever.
Yeah, they've been around my whole life.
Brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com.
InsuranceChicken.com wants to know, how much are you paying for your insurance? I know it seems like a hassle to switch to a different company, but if you can save a few bucks, it's worth crossing the road to InsuranceChicken.com. We have several of the top insurance companies trying to earn your business. They do that by offering great insurance that is cheap, cheap, cheap. Okay, enough of the silly chicken puns. It's time to get serious about saving you money on your insurance at InsuranceChicken.com. That's InsuranceChicken.com.
Time now for the quote of the day. It comes your way, courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com. Quote today is from H.L. Mencken, who says, "A judge is a law student who marks his own examination papers." That's kind of true.
That's true.
Yeah, it's like, who are you going to talk to if you disagree with the judge?
Yep,
Another
exactly.
judge? I suppose that's what it would be officially. But yeah, a judge is a law student who marks his own examination papers. It's a nice quote, don't you think?
Yes, very nice.
It is the quote of the day. It comes your way, courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. Comes your way courtesy of GenesisGoldIRA.com. And really nice story here. I think this is actually kind of a cool thing. An elderly dog risks it all to protect his furry brother from coyotes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So senior dog, with only a few teeth, saved the life of his furry little brother in California in a neighborhood there. And I'm looking at these dogs, and if you see these dogs, Heidi, you would say they look like our former dogs, Mandy and Miley.
Aww.
So there's 2 puppies here. Vinny is an 11-year-old, 10-pound Maltese mix. Harley is a 12-pound Morkie and much younger than Vinny. Surveillance video captured the moment Vinny scared away a coyote as it was attacking Harley. So there's a video that I'm not going to play here because it's very, very sad to see this happening. But you're also pretty darn proud of this little dog going, hey, get out of here, coyote. According to the owners, Harley heard something in the backyard and ran outside. He was confronted by 2 coyotes. Upon hearing Harley yelp in pain, Vinny ran straight toward his little brother, growled, and chased after the coyotes.
Wow.
This is a little tiny dog. Said, I think he had a low-level growl and shocked that coyote.
Yeah, I certainly wasn't expecting it.
Took
That's
off.
for sure.
Harley was rushed to the hospital for several bite wounds, ended up with 20 stitches, but made a full recovery.
Wow.
Says,
That's a lot of stitches for a tiny dog.
Especially for a tiny little 10-pound dog.
Yeah.
The coyotes took off. Harley was rushed to the hospital, got his stitches. Says, we're super vigilant dog parents. We've lived here for 30 years in the same house. We've always had small dogs. We have cameras most of that time. And we've never seen a coyote in our backyard till last night.
Wow.
Our little hero, Vinny, is 10 pounds and 11 years old and only has 3 teeth, but he's always been scrappy. She said Vinny was a rescue that they adopted from ECPR, Emerald City Pet Rescue, back in 2014. So they said, thank you so much for giving us our little hero. And this dog is pretty cool. This little dog kind of reminds me of our dog, Miley, who we used to have. And then the one that was getting attacked looks very much like our former dog, Mandy.
Yeah, that definitely would have
So
been the
much
other
like
way
her.
around, though, with our dogs.
Yeah, our dogs. Mandy was the boss. So.
Yeah.
Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you so much for listening to The John and Heidi Show.